Ahead on the Valley today, a North Dakota murder suspect is behind bars, accused of killing a woman and tampering with evidence. Plus, stepping up for a stranger. One family helps a West Fargo couple and their kids who lost just about everything in a house fire. But first, there's now a $10,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of a Minnesota man suspected of killing his wife. 44-year-old Eric Reinbold is being sought by U.S. Marshals who say he's the primary suspect in the murder of Lizette Reinbold on Friday in Oakley, Minnesota. Now, he's the same man who was sentenced to 5 years in federal prison in 2018 for illegally possessing pipe bombs. Reinbold is considered armed and dangerous, and you should not approach him. If you spot him, call 911 right away or contact the U.S. Marshal's Office at 877-WANTED-2. A man is in custody after the shooting death of a woman in North Dakota. Minot police say an investigation led them to 41-year-old Eric VENN, who fled from officers when he was spotted. They eventually arrested him just outside of town. VENN is charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and fleeing in a vehicle. A man is being treated for serious injuries after a head-on crash between a van and a motorcycle in the Northern Valley. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the van was turning off of Highway 15 near Northwood right around 4 yesterday morning when he was hit by a motorcycle. The driver of that bike, 33-year-old Peyton Fettig of Sharon, North Dakota, was thrown off of his motorcycle and landed in a ditch. The driver of the van was not hurt. The trial starts today for a former West Fargo teacher who is accused of luring a minor for sex online. Ronald Thompson was charged back in February after court documents revealed a detective in Florida actually alerted West Fargo police about Thompson allegedly posing as a 14-year-old while chatting online. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison. It's now 8 minutes before 7. Let's get a check of our Monday morning forecast with Lisa Green.
Good morning. We are talking about rain chances up in the Northern Valley this morning and perhaps more for the rest of us later today. But right now we're tracking a line of rain and thunderstorms moving into the Devil's Lake Basin. Here's Devil's Lake right here, and you can see right along Highway 2 moving into the Leeds area just outside of Maddock, and then up toward Rock Lake and Candu eventually as well, seeing these showers and thunder showers moving in. There's some lightning as you see here with each one of these lightning bolts detected and some heavy downpours. So this is going to be impactful for anybody who needs to hit the road this morning in this area. Now, the good news is it will be weakening. Well, I know we want the rain, but maybe not necessarily the lightning, and maybe not necessarily at the time we all need to leave the house. But this will start to weaken as we work our way into the later morning hours. So it's going to kind of fall apart initially, but eventually we'll see more of this develop as we head into the afternoon and evening hours today. And the line actually extends farther down toward Bismarck, a little farther away from our western counties. We'll be monitoring that for the James River Valley as well here this morning. Everywhere else it's pretty quiet except for this. The haze, that smoky haze still out there. This is in Grand Forks at Home of Economy. You could see that sun being filtered out by that smoky sky yet again here. Air quality in yellow, that indicates moderate air quality here, and that covers just about everybody here in the valley. And what that means is if you are unusually sensitive to wildfire smoke, you'll want to take some precautions, and will likely be in this range here for today, perhaps at some moments getting into that unhealthy for sensitive groups range. Here's a look at our wildfire smoke forecast today. Anywhere you see light blue, that means we've got that haze around, but it's not necessarily terrible for air quality at the surface. This continues into tonight. We might get a little break on Tuesday, and then Tuesday evening, this is 8 o'clock Tuesday night, watch what happens. We start to see the smoke drift in from those wildfires up north into Wednesday and into Thursday. So something to watch out for. Current conditions, we're in the 60s and 50s this morning to start. We'll get it back into those 80s to near 90 today.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa. Evacuations are underway in parts of Northern California as the Beckworth complex fire continues to grow in size. It's burning about 45 miles north of Lake Tahoe and is currently listed as the state's largest fire. Between Friday and Saturday, the fire doubled in size and jumped the state line into Nevada. So far, the fire is estimated to be more than 60,000 acres and is only 8% contained. New COVID-19 infections are on the rise in at least 24 states as the more contagious Delta variant spreads. Pfizer says it's meeting today with FDA and other health officials to talk about its authorization request for a third dose booster shot of its vaccine. British billionaire Richard Branson soared into space on board his Virgin Galactic spaceship. The spaceship detached from the mothership high above the New Mexico desert. Branson and his 5 crewmates then ignited the spaceship's rocket, sending it streaking upward into the blackness of space some 53 miles high. The crew felt a few minutes of weightlessness before shifting into re-entry mode and gliding to a safe landing on a runway back at the spaceport. The entire flight took about 1 hour. It's a boost for Virgin Galactic, which plans to start taking paying customers on joy rides next year. After a devastating house fire in West Fargo, some neighbors are helping raise money to support them. The Tollefsons used a lemonade stand to help bring awareness to the family that has been suffering since Thursday. The Tollefsons sold lemonade in their neighborhood to help a family they had actually never even met before. Last Thursday, fire destroyed the Petersons' home. Since then, the community has been rallying around the Peterson family.
That's nice.
You know, we've never met them. Like we found out they were a mile away and in our neighborhood, and it just doesn't matter if you've met people or not. Like that's just like Fargo Moorhead, and they come stop by and you give them hugs as if you've known them forever.
The Tollefsons were able to raise around $1,000 for their neighbors in West Fargo. There's also a GoFundMe page that can help you help the family. Just find it at valleynewslive.com by clicking on this story. After seeing a need in the neighborhood, the city of West Fargo is adding a new bike path. The Valley Today's Brian Sherrod joins us live with more on where it is located and when it should be ready to go. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Lisa. You can already see behind me where they're doing the construction and getting themselves ready. This is on 10th Avenue East in West Fargo. Now, what this bike project is going to do is connect 13th Avenue East all the way up to 7th Avenue East, adding that extra bike route for people who are interested in using it. But like we just mentioned, it's that extra need in the community. So right here on 10th Avenue East, this area is going to be closed for 2 weeks while they do that road work. Now, this route will run along Drain 45. The underground utilities and speed table construction has already been completed. Well, starting today, it will begin the sidewalk installation, adding a grading bike path between 13th and 12th Avenues East. And 10th Avenue East closed until Friday, July 23rd for this bikeway installation. Now, the estimated project is expected to cost at least $600,000, and also tell you that you want to plan accordingly when traveling through this neighborhood for your morning and evening commutes, and also make sure that you follow the 3 S's, that is speed, space, and stress. Can't stress that enough because, again, this area is going to be closed off while they're doing this construction project. But all of these full details can be found at valleynewslive.com.
Yeah, it looks like a big mess behind you right now, Brian. But of course, it's all going to be worth it. And I know all those families in that area, all the kids are ready for that new space. Bike path, but of course, it can be used for so many things. Rollerblading, running, walking, all that good stuff. Brian Sherrod reporting live. Thank you so much for that update. Okay, let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Here's today's question. A fourth of us say that this is our favorite smell. What is it? Oh, we had a lot of great guesses this morning. I thought maybe we were going to go with the brand new baby. We got the freshly cut lawn. But of course, the answer is campfire. That makes sense and perfect timing for this summer as well. Remember, you can play along every weekday morning. Just head to our Valley News Live Facebook page. It's now 1 minute before 7 o'clock, and I do want to take a moment to recognize a life lost too soon. Our Valley News Live family lost one of our own recently. KRISTIE Johnson worked at Valley News Live for 20 years. While she wasn't in front of the camera, she made the magic happen behind the scenes. She was most recently a newscast director for our evening shows. KRISTIE, although she was known for being quiet and private, she did enjoy some fun outside of work as well. She was a half marathoner and enjoyed vacationing with her sister Tammy, who also used to work here at Valley News Live. KRISTIE battled breast cancer for 19 months, even working some days at Valley News Live during her chemo treatments. She was just 42 years old when she died last week. Her funeral is today in her hometown of Verndale, Minnesota. She'll be greatly missed by her family and friends.